Hello, this is Jackie Wei, PhD Calculus, and these are the do's and don'ts of calculus. Follow these tips to become a calculus god. Before we get started, we are legally required to tell you that we aren't liable for any damages done by our parents because of your grades if you follow these tips. Do use calculus pickup lines on your teacher. Hi, Miss Mac.
Hello.
Are you the derivative of x because you're the one for me?
Can't say a bad version. Go ahead, put this. AP risk? No. 0. Yeah.
Don'ts include dx. dx is just an unhappy face. Every time you put it on your test, your grader will hate you for being so whiny. Do aim for a 1 on the AP exam. Only one person gets a 1 on the AP exam every year. That means you got a perfect score and you're number 1 out of the 268,352 test takers. Don't include plus C. What is plus C? See these nuts? The test graders will not appreciate your immaturity. Do use chain rule on an integral. What's with all the u substitution stuff? Just integrate the outside function and substitute the inside function inside the integrated outside function and multiply it by the integrated inside function. It makes things so much easier. Don't use a calculator. It's a sign of weakness. If you can't even do sine of 89 degrees, you shouldn't be in Math 1, let alone calculus. If you do need the calculator though, make sure it's in degree mode. Calculus and radians are like Sam Rao and Daniel Huang, always arguing and hating each other. Do simplify your answers. Don't be a lazy pig. Simplifying all your answers shows that you're a calculus gigachad. Don't show work. Graders want a clean paper. Just do all the math in your head like the gigachad you are and write down the answer. Hell, don't even include the units. No one wants to know that the rate of temperature of milk sizzling on a pan rising is 69 Fahrenheit per minute. Do study ahead into Calculus BC. Sometimes AP test makers like to sneak in a little divergence or convergence problem here and there, so make sure to memorize and understand all the tests. Don't prove theorems. What are you trying to do? Question the grader's calculus ability? These graders are professional teachers who have gone through multiple stages of calculus education. They know their stuff. Do solve a calculus problem first thing in the morning every day. As they say, a calculus problem a day keeps your later rates away.
I don't need the plus C.
Don't include decimals. Bro, stop wasting the honorable College Board minions' times. Just round to the nearest whole number. They don't have time for your 3.141.92653589793. Do bribe the AP exam proctor. For just a small fee, you can easily pass the exam. Oh shoot, this is so hard. What is the derivative of e to the x again?
Yay!
Don't be a top dog. They're nerdy show-offs. Don't be a wacky J. Do build up your hand muscles. 3 hours and 15 minutes of writing is a lot. We recommend you start working out your hands 3 months prior to the exam. Don't ever use electronic devices in the classroom. They are prohibited. Don't be like this bozo. Sam? Do write essays on your AP exam. This shows your dedication and deep knowledge about calculus. Graders are math nerds and love to read the elaborate, interesting essays you write on your exams. And while we're on the subject of essays, make sure to use the pronoun it. While graders love to read your long essays, they hate reading wordy answers that always use it in place of mathematical terms.
That's it.
Yay! Don't use a number 2 pencil on the exam. They get dull so easily and your writing becomes messy. Just use a mechanical pencil. It's so much better. Do leave multiple choice answers blank. Getting a problem wrong makes you look stupid, but if you leave it blank, graders won't know that you don't know how to do it and they'll be nicer on you during the FRQs. And finally, don't sacrifice sleep for school. Be like this guy, our beloved #1 top cat.
The washer method, blah blah blah, outer radius, inner radius, and so you know how to. You're late again! Oh my god! What time is it? Gosh! Oh my god, my inner actress. I'm so proud of myself.
And that, my friends, is how you get a 1 for first on the AP exam and an F for first in Mrs. Mack's class. Thank you all for listening and good luck.